Hey guys, Willie Mayette, creator of JAZZEDGE. Welcome to lesson 46 from Jazz Piano Daily. Today we're going to do our improvisation enclosure exercises for jazz piano. This is going to be part one. So first of all, what are enclosures? Well, you hear enclosures all of the time. So like when we're improvising jazz piano, these are the chromaticism that happens in jazz piano like this. All right, so all of that chromaticism that's going on, a lot of times that is an enclosure, right? Now, an enclosure is all about finding a target note, okay? So you have a target, and then you have an enclosure around that target. It's very much like you might have a house, and you have a fence that goes around that house, okay? So the fence kind of encloses that house, right? So that target note can be any note that you want. It's usually going to be a chord tone, all right? A chord tone or an available tension. But if you start by targeting your chord tones first, specifically targeting really important chord tones like your third and your seventh, remember those are your guide tones, those types of enclosures are really going to have a lot of power in your improvisation. Okay, so let's dive into this and let me show you what this looks like. So we're always going to have a starting note, and then we're going to have target notes. So the starting note is obviously the first note that you're going to play on your improvisation. Your target notes is any note that you want to get to. Everything in between your target notes is really filler material, okay? At least for right now. As your improvisation gets a little bit better, I don't want you to think that you're constantly thinking going from target to target to target. No, it starts to become second nature for you. But when you're first learning, it's helpful to think, hey, look, I got to get to this target. All right, so right now I am using the note B. Whoops, let me fix that. I am using the note B here just as an example target note, all right? Has nothing to do with Fly Me to the Moon or anything like that. I'm just saying I want to get to the note B. How can I get there using enclosures? And what you see here is we have a half step above to a half step below to the target. Okay? So that's how I'm getting to this target note. I go a half step above it, a half step below it, and I hit the target. So let's just find a couple more targets. Let's say I want to get D. All right. Half step above, half step below to the target. Let's say I want to target C. Half above, half below to the target. I want to target G. Half above, half below to the target. Okay? All right, so now once you understand that concept, now what we could start to do is we could start to target our chord tones and actually put this to real use. So here's my D minor 7 chord. That's my root, my third, my fifth, and my seventh. So the exercise is to target each one of these chord tones. And by the way, if you like this enclosure stuff, check out the Confident Improviser. It's a course that's only found at JAZZEDGE. In fact, this material is right out of the Confident Improviser. All right, so we dive into this with much more detail as well. All right, so here, left hand, I'm just playing my D minor chord show. You can play a full voicing, whatever. It doesn't really matter what you do down here. I would simply say keep it simple in the left hand. Now, notice what I'm doing. I'm playing the half above, half below to the root. And notice I wrote in the fingering for you. It's 3, 2, 1 on all of these. So 3, 2, 1. Then I go a half above, half below to the third of the chord. Then half above, half below to the fifth of the chord. Half above, half below to the seventh of the chord. Half above, half below to the root of the chord. Again, when I say half above, above is all of these targets. Whoops. So all of these are my targets. Okay? Every place where you see the, let me fix that. Every place where you see the number of the chord, that's my target. Okay? So everything here in the blue, this is all my approaches. Okay? And then I might say approaches, I might use the word enclosures, you might even hear the word neighbor tones brought in. All of it basically means the same thing, okay? So just realize that that terminology is kind of interchangeable, right? So all the blue are your enclosures, right? That's the half step above, half step below to the target. Now, not to go overboard on this, this is a half step above, that's a half step below, and then this is my target note right there. So I'm going a half step above this target note, a half step below this target note to the target note, okay? So again, that's my target note, half above, half step below it to the target. That's my next target. Go a half step above, half step below to the target. That's my next target. Half step above, half step below to the target. That's my next target. Half above, half below to the target, and that's my final target. Half above, half below to the target. All right, so now what I've done is I've created a play-along track for you, okay, that you can go ahead and download and play along with. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'll put it on 100 for right now. It was on 110, but let's do 100. And let's just try playing this. I'm going to play it several times for you. Make sure you don't slap the keys like this. Don't do that. Instead, grab. Okay? All right, so that is the exercise. Try working through that exercise. Do not fall in love with the exercise, though, because what I'm going to do is in number 47, I am going to show you the right way of playing these enclosures. I don't want to bog you down with that right now. All I want you to really focus on right now is, okay, my chord tones, I'm doing a half step above it, half step below it to the chord tone. Just focus on doing that for right now. Now, as a brief reminder, if you want to get the sheet music for this lesson, just go back to Jazz Piano Daily. We are now at the members only sheets. So everything from Jazz Piano Daily lesson 46 moving on is going to be a member-only sheet music. Now, I'm not going to do anything funky with these lessons, meaning I'm going to still show the sheet music on the screen, okay? So if you're interested in getting the printed sheet music, then that helps to support the site, and I really appreciate it. If you just want to look at it on the screen and that's it, well, then you can just grab it off the screen. You can also write it out yourself. But if you'd like to find out more about getting the sheet music, plus all of the backing tracks and have access to all of that, just go right on back to Jazz Piano Daily. As a quick reminder, if you liked the video, do me a favor and like it, subscribe. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.